So if you've ever had a panic attack or been around somebody who has panic attacks, and you'll probably want to listen to this, let's apply our understanding of respiration physiology to see about how we can gain some control over what is a very out of control, stressful situation. So what's happening when someone is having a panic attack is they are hyperventilating and they are offloading a shit ton of carbon dioxide. And so what's happening when they're offloading a lot of carbon dioxide, it's the opposite of what's happening when we're exercising. In fact, blood pH is going up. Vasodilation and circulation is decreasing. And so they're driving less oxygen to skeletal muscle and the organ tissue. And so that's why people get lightheaded and tingly feeling. And so, number one, you want to get somebody to sitting down in a safe position. If they're having a panic attack, just guide them to a place of low risk, because you can anticipate that they are going to get lightheaded and they are at a high falls risk, particularly the elderly. So once we've gotten to that position, what can we do now? Carbon dioxide is being offloaded very quickly due to the rapid respiration. And so now, a couple of things. So breathing slower, yeah, that's going to help, but that's usually a pretty ineffective cue. So it's like, yeah, really breathe slower. Thank you. That really didn't help at all. Okay, let's now maybe do something a little more practical and useful. Let's see if we can hold our breaths. So someone's having a panic attack. You want to guide them, and what's very valuable here is tell them ahead of time. If someone is prone, if you're prone, or you know somebody's prone to having a panic attack, tell them ahead of time what they can do. One of two things, this is a major helps and cues. One is try and pause your breath. So try and get them to hold their breath for as long as they practically can within their panic attack. Okay, what's happening here is you hold your breath. Why do we need to breathe? Anybody? It's not because of the lack of oxygen. It's because of the buildup of CO2. So let's use that understanding of that's what we want. We want to build up CO2 in this situation because we're offloading a ton of it. So let's try and hold the breath, even if it's just for a second. I can already feel myself get lightheaded. It's kind of like a Wim Hof-esque breathing technique, but it's out of control. So that's kind of a difference between a Wim Hof and a panic attack hyperventilation. One is controlled, one is out of control. So someone's having that panic attack. Okay, let's see, can we hold our breath as long as we can in between that panic attack? Now, next, simple. It's on every airplane. It's on. Everyone's got access to a bag. So if you can, plastic one isn't very good. Paper bags are probably better because they constrict and expand better. But what you're going to do now is you're going to be rebreathing your own carbon dioxide that you're offloading. And so you can actually really help the person the most effectively, because they can continue to respire at a really high rate, and maybe their environment is still going to maintain, whatever triggered them, maybe you can't get them away from the stressor that's triggering their panic attack. Okay, but if you can get them a bag, now we can control something. We can gain some control over our physiology by rebreathing our own CO2. Now we're going to restore that pH back to its balance. We're going to be able to restore some of that circulation and vasodilation, and basically won't be offloading as much carbon dioxide because we're going to be rebreathing it and allowing ourselves to come back to some type of homeostasis from a respiratory perspective anyway. And so this should buttress some of the lightheadedness and tingliness and stop them or mitigate them from passing out. So if you know anybody or have friends, family, etc., who have panic attacks, you're around somebody, you're a coach, this should be really fundamental understanding for us coaches, number one, because it's a very frequent occurrence, and we want to help our clients be able to gain better control over their lives and out of things that they can't control as much. And so it's a great tool to have in the toolkit, whether you're someone who has panic attacks a lot or you're somebody who is around somebody who does. So apply those principles, and I really do hope that helps, because it can be a very out of control, debilitating, frightening, stressful thing to occur. So I hope this helps people gain a little bit more control, calm, and peace over their day-to-day.